Hello everyone and welcome to another Thomas video. So today we're taking a look at Jund Midrange in Thomas format. So today is the first day of the anthology release. They have put out a lot of new cards for Timeless. So we're going to be trying out one of them, which is this card here, Wrenn 6. So Wrenn 6 is actually kind of insane in current Timeless at the moment because, of course, with the Strip Mine legal, you can get back a Strip Mine every single turn, which is something that even a Jund midrange can do without having to play like 3 mana cards or 4 mana cards that requires an Ancient Tomb in the deck to play those cards out as early as possible. Now, even with just Chrome Mox, you can get the Wrenn 6 out as early as turn 2 and start blowing up opponents' lands. Other than that, the fact that this is actually a 2 mana card is really good for this deck because we're going to be playing 2 copies of Jarsoul in the deck, which means that our Jarsoul can even get back a Wrenn 6, which is a Planeswalker. That's really cool. And as for the other Planeswalker, we are also going to be playing Minkskin Boo, which is going to be our top end. So we have the One Ring, Minkskin Boo, and Shaldred as our top end that you can also Dark Ritual into. And as for our removal spells, we're going to be playing Fatal Push and Molten Collapse. The Molten Collapse is actually pretty sick at the moment because a lot of people are playing Chrome Boxes, which means that you can also blow up one of their land base as well. So honestly, this should be pretty fun. So having said that, I'm going to be hopping over to some Thomas Special 3 to show you guys the deck does. So let's hop on over. Alright. Deathrite Shaman. Sure. Love to see that. Undercity Sewers turn 1. Wonder what that means. Also, they topped it. I would love to see some Wrenn 6 action. That would be nice. Ooh, a Strip Mine. Who can play that game? Oh man. So sure. I guess we just pass. Troll of Khazad-dûm. So they're playing some kind of a reanimator? Hmm. Do I want to deal damage or... I guess I kind of want to deal damage. My turn. That's a good one. That is a good one. I could have reanimated, but the fact that they shocked us in... Grief. Short. They can't, like, reanimate at the moment. If I play the Orcish Bowmaster, that means I'm giving up the ability to get rid of one of their creatures in the graveyard. Maybe I should have just reanimated. Maybe I should have. That's what I thought. So they actually exiled a reanimate. Good to know. Graveyard Trespasser comes in and a Surgical. I'm just not sure if they're playing Sorin. Are they playing Sorin? So currently I don't really know. So I think I'm just going to pass up on the idea of bringing something for Soren. I'm gonna go down on Mink Skin Boo. And maybe 2-1 rings because yeah, like I said, I don't know what they're playing. If they have a discard spell, kind of bad because they can take away my Chrome Mox, but if they don't, pretty good. Now the question is, do I want to get rid of a Molten Collapse even though I know that they are a Reanimator? What's going on? Did you see that? Did you see that flip? We get the 1 ring down. Psychic Frog. And a Jar Soul. Alright, so let's take a look at what they have. It was a Thoughtseize and a Bloodchief's Thirst. I guess this strip mine is kind of important because if I get rid of this, in order for them to play Tamio here, that means they have to fetch this first, which means they're gonna lose the Revolt trigger. Oh, okay. That was a pretty good top deck. Not gonna lie. 6, 7, 8, 9. You know, speaking of a top deck, what a top deck. You know? I mean, I am drawing like multiple cards per turn, so that would be a little bit unfair to say that that was a top deck. So there's that Tamio.
Perhaps there are more useful things down on the surface.
I don't need strip mines anymore. I might want this Sheoldred. Do I want this Sheoldred? Just so I can like draw a bunch, just so I can gain some life back. Because I am kind of dying. No Thoughtseize. So Barrowgoyf we don't really care about. We do have a Jar Soul for that. I think we just get rid of a Fatal Push there and pass a turn. I mean, this is so over. It is just in multiple different ways. It's just over. Alright, going second with the Thoughtseize, I don't think that's too bad. I don't like to see a Deathray Shaman turn 1, I'll tell you that much. Okay, I mean, that Ice Tail Explorer is... like, it's not gonna come out anytime soon. So maybe we get Prismatic Ending? Oh, what a top deck. That was actually such a brutal top deck. Brutal. That was so brutal. Did they top deck a 3-mana card? So they get a Strip Mine back, but we also get to Molten Collapse both the Explorer plus the Chrome Mox here. I think that's worth it. Alright. And then now, next turn, we go like Dark Ritual or something like that. We do actually have to kill this Deathray Shaman, though. Especially when... oh, actually, Deathray Shaman doesn't have a black mana. Do we just top deck every land? Oh, no way. They just top deck the 3-mana card? Okay, it wasn't actually an Uro. I mean, it's still very threatening because it could potentially come out next turn. So, what is the deal? What is the deal? I can't stop the Uro from coming out. Okay, so let's say I play Sheoldred, but then the Uro gets to attack every single turn. Oh god. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I feel like I'm kind of inclined to get the Sheoldred because they could have fetched a black source, you know? And at least this way, maybe potentially like we can draw into a way to play this next turn. Oh, did they just draw swords? No, it was just a Deathray Shaman. Kind of a tough game. Kind of a tough game. So I have to take this, right? They also shock. Oof. I think I have to take this. It was a Lavinia. Okay. I do have one swamp. So we go with the One Ring. Another Shaldred, so I can block the Uro here. So what's this guy's ultimate? Instant and sorcery cards in the graveyard have a retrace. And I guess I just... So do I block this? Or do I attack? I think I attack. Wrenn 6 is like not doing anything, so yeah, that's fine. We gain 4 life. We play another Shaldred. Hopefully we draw a Fatal Push. Easy peasy. All right. Play another Shaldred. Oh. Okay. Seems like I have to block this Uro then. Oh, we're just dead. Yeah, I think definitely the problem with this game was the fact that we didn't draw a single Fatal Push this game. We also didn't draw a Deathray Shaman to compete against opponents' Deathray Shamans either. I'm gonna cut Mink Skimbu and maybe a copy of a Wrenn. Yeah, the client is definitely weird. Do you see how, like, the cards are landing? Like, what? It is definitely on the weird side. So, I can potentially go into One Ring immediately. Or... But then they could have a Spell Pierce. The Trespasser here actually doesn't... It doesn't do much. I think I'm just going to leave a Orc Bowmaster bag. They could also have a Stifle, right? Because they played a Stifle. Maybe I should have actually tested if they were gonna Stifle there. But I guess I can kinda bait them to use it on their turn. Yeah, that was a lot of cards to actually consider there. So they got rid of a Stifle. That means they have a Stifle in hand, potentially. It was a Wary Zone Guard. So I can go Molten Collapse on this Wary Zone Guard. I think that's probably the best thing I can do. Let's actually play the One Ring as well. So they did have a Strip Mine.
I will invert the world to watch kings grovel and worms rule. Surely you see the humor here.
Uro. Which one do we care about? I guess I could have actually gotten rid of the Uro there as well.
I see you don't share
Thinking about it. I was actually more focused on getting rid of opponent's Strip Mine, but I forgot that we had a Deathrise Shaman for that purpose. Let's see. I mean, the Molten Collapse is absolutely phenomenal so far. It does seem like the Kozilek is actually pretty decent as well, right? Maybe we don't even need Minx Kimbu in this matchup. Bowmaster seems great. Maybe is it correct to even ever go down on Dark Ritual, but maybe we do. Okay, so we could potentially have like a turn one ring or Shaldred. Deathray Shaman. Okay. I could play it a little bit slowly and then play just Deathray Shaman and then Thoughtseize here. Mana Drain and Wary Zone Guard. The Mana Drain is actually pretty good. Yeah, the Mana Drain is actually pretty good. No, Mana Drain. So what do we do? Wow. They're not going to leave up a mana drain? Interesting. Let's go with the One Ring. And now we have a Kozilek. So we can go Blood Crypt, Kozilek, get rid of a mana drain. Okay, this is good. So we have another Deathray Shaman coming out. Deathray Shaman battle! Alright. Okay, so it was a Stifle. Sure. Sure. They're gonna eat that. Okay, I'm actually surprised they didn't compete for that. So now I get to save some life points. Ooh, they topped it. What is it? What could it be? A 4-mana card? Ice Still? Okay. Definitely not the worst one. Because like, you can dig for Uro. Oh my god, if they top deck that. Wait, they should definitely crack this and play again. What? Alright, GG's. Going first with bunch of Thoughtseize is definitely not that bad. Okay, why are my cards like shaking? You know what I mean? Why are my cards shaking? Mana Drain. Mana Drain. I'm gonna play this now because opponent has a Brainstorm. I don't really want to fight over the card. You know? And I'll Thoughtseize you. This is so that I can get the Minx Boo next. That's actually really good. It was like either that or like a Jar Soul would have been nice as well. Sure. Hullbreaker Horror. So the opponent actually did manage to find a show and tell. So opponent has 5 mana next turn. Can I win? 1, 2. So I'm dealing 5 damage. Okay, sure.
Ooh, is it just any happy? Is a big go big?
So even if they top deck a show and tell and put this down, I think I'm okay with it because they would have to chump block this. And if they cast the Mastermind's Acquisition, they still die. So yeah. So yeah, I think that's a game 2 situation. Alright, we want Vexing Bauble. Loots. Inquisition. And we also want a Surgical. We want all the copies of Fatal Pushout. And we also want 2 copies of Haywire Might, maybe? Reanimate's actually pretty good because we can reanimate like Aatroxa or Hullbreaker Horror. We definitely want to get rid of like things like One Ring or Shaldred. We want Wrenn and 6 because we can lock them out with land destruction. We'll cut 1 copy of a Bowmaster as well. I might want Trespassers? Maybe? Maybe like cut... Do I cut this card? I'll try this, like just 1 Shaldred. Alright, we have Thoughtseize and Jarsoul together. Pretty good. What? Why does it do that? Why does it shake like that? Okay, that would have been actually a disaster. Also, if opponent top decks a land for the mana drain, that would be actually pretty bad for me too. I mean, I have to get rid of a show and tell, otherwise I'm just gonna lose the game, so... I hope they don't top deck a land for the mana drain, and they did. Feels absolutely terrible, man. I guess I just have to top deck another, you know, a discard spell. The opponent can technically cast the Rakshas's Bargain here. I need a discard spell here. Come on, discard spell. Discard spell or... Okay. 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so I think we just have to do it like this. So what do we get rid of? I guess Rakshas's Bargain? Because even if they go... The thing is, the Saiba Siphoner can get back a Rakshas's Bargain here. They can just hardcast this. I think we get rid of a Rakshas's Bargain. Because they still can't hardcast the Aatroxa. They need green source. So at the very least, if I do it like this, they're not going to be able to cast Rakshas's Bargain, even if they flash in the Saiba Siphoner. Oh! I forgot about that. Oh my god. Wait. They don't have blue source. Oh my god. But I just drew the worst card here. No. Well, that kind of sucked. I completely forgot that they can just grab back a show and tell there as well. Alright. This one's a little bit interesting. If I top deck Wrenn in 6, this is really good. Or if I top deck a Thoughtseize, it's also really good. I should have just played it. Why did they bother doing this now, though? Right? Okay, so we actually got Wrenn in 6. Okay. It's kind of weird playing against a deck that has a bunch of mana drains. So it wasn't a mana drain? Interesting. Interesting. Oh, it's a Veil of Summer. Ah. I see. That's pretty bad because... that means they can go through my Vexing Bauble, right? That's pretty bad. Yeah, that is actually kind of bad for me. I'm not gonna lie. Fragment Reality. Maybe not. It was a Fragment Reality? I'm so confused. There's just so many things it could be, right? It could be anything at this point. It could be anything at this point. So they have an Ancient Tomb again, which doesn't feel good. I need my opponent to stop drawing a land, you know? So they have 4 mana. Rakshasa's Bargain. It would be really nice if I can draw like 6 of our discard spells, but we're not drawing any of them. Bum 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 bum. So we're gonna get rid of opponent's Chrome Mox here, and I'm going to play my Vexing Bauble. Because then they're not going to be able to play Chrome Mox into a land into a show and tell, right? Demonic Tutor. Is there any creatures? So honestly, like, I feel like this is only happening because we just can't seem to find anything to play with our cards here. Like, just a single discard spell would have done it this game, you know? Two, three, four, five. Okay. Did we win? Oh my god. What a finish. Alright, we took a look at this deck today. I actually had a 1 loss right before I started recording to kind of like familiarize myself with the deck. But yeah, this deck was actually kind of sick, all things considered. I really like the sneaky reanimate that we can do with the Jar Soul. So that option is still there. But we actually have a lot of like good Jar Soul targets in this deck as well. Because we have 4 Captured Thoughtseizes, Deathrise Shamans, Reanimate, Fatal Push. The Dark Ritual is actually kind of bad because we can't really cast anything at an instant speed other than Orcish Bowmaster. So we have a pretty good setup like 1-mana cards that you can use for the Jar Soul. But we also have a pretty nice selection of 2-mana cards that you can get back with the Jar Soul, Orcish Bowmaster, Molten Collapse. And now we have a Wrenn and 6. Even if the Wrenn and 6 does end up in the graveyard, we can get it back with the Jar Soul, which means we're going to be able to get back our Strip Mine as a result, even if the Wrenn does end up in the graveyard in future turns. We didn't actually see the Wrenn and 6 too much, but against our show and tell opponent, I was able to get back a Strip Mine every single turn, which meant that opponent was a little bit taxed on what they can cast per turn. And that like little bit of leeway there actually helped us to win the game because opponent wasn't able to cast a show and tell into Veil of Summer in a single turn. So we have a slightly like a little bit of an unfair plan there with the Wrenn and 6 and the Strip Mines. Also, the Wrenn and 6 is going to be pretty good against like things like also Pride, opponent's Orcish Bowmaster. So we have 7 different ways without using our Fatal Push against the Orcish Bowmaster to kill opponent's Orcish Bowmaster so that we can land our 1 ring and draw a bunch of cards, right? And we are currently running 20 lands plus 3 copies of Chrome Moxes in the deck. So together, 23 plus 4 copies of Dark Ritual. You could perhaps go down to like 22 if you want to be like slightly greedy. That's definitely an option. So yeah, very traditional Jund mid-range, discard spells, 1-for-1, Fatal Push. A Molten Collapse isn't technically like 1-for-1, but the idea is there, right? Plus there's a lot of Chrome Moxes at the moment, so Molten Collapse is just a fantastic card. And we also have a Mink Skin Boo, which is kind of sick. So yeah, very Jund looking deck outside of like Dark Ritual. But the only reason why we're playing Dark Ritual is to get to our Sheoldred, the 1 ring. And post sideboard, the 2 copies of Trespassers are also pretty sick against other Strip Mine decks. If they're smart enough, they're not gonna put the Strip Mines when the Trespasser can attack. But along with the Deathray Shaman and Trespasser, it should be okay. Plus, you know, a 3-mana card that you can just run out on turn 1, and it also like drains your opponent and has a disgusting word. I think this card is pretty sick. And we have 3 copies of Calling Rituals for energy. And we have Vexing Baubles and Disruptor Flutes against Show and Tell. So yeah, that is day 1 of the Anthology deck. It's just so sick that Wrenn and 6 is a 2-mana card which you can get back with a Jar Soul. Like, I think that's so sick. Wrenn and 6, despite only dealing 1 damage, which means like the things that it can get rid of are kind of limited. But if you pair this up with things like Orcish Bowmaster, like if you have more cards that deal 1 damage, right? Now you can get rid of things like Guide of Soul. You can get rid of things like Ajani or things like Deathray Shaman. Yeah, I mean, more things Jar Soul can get back at 2 mana, the better it is. And yeah, that is going to be it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Bye-bye.